Hello, you absolute legends. In speedrunning, cheaters come in all different types of flavors. First, you have the total scrubs who aren't very good at the game, but they want to try and quickly get some clout, so they decide to fake a world record. Unfortunately, because they aren't very good players, they lack the ability to create a convincing speedrun. These are usually quickly spotted because their gameplay is just too unrealistic and doesn't reflect what a genuinely good player would produce. Then you have the speedrunners who are legitimately good at their game, perhaps even already world champions. These players might have gotten frustrated and were sick and tired of grinding for many hours only for the game to screw them over. So they cave and decide to cheat. These fake speedruns are much harder to spot because the runner actually knows what they are doing. Given that the gameplay seems legit, these are usually caught through some kind of technical inconsistency or discovery. The best players that do cheat can sometimes get away with it for years before getting caught. But the cheater we will look at today doesn't fit into either of these categories. It was a speedrunner who wasn't good at the game, knew they wanted to fake a world record, but were smart enough to realize that becoming a champion takes time. So instead of coming out of nowhere with a new world's best, they decided to go for the long con. Over the course of 6 months, this person slowly weaseled their way into the Black Ops 3 Zombies speedrunning community. Starting off with very ordinary, believable times, they would then methodically and deliberately improve their personal best over the span of half a year. They would tell stories of how much time they were spending grinding the game. They would lament over how many resets they needed to do to get the luck they needed. Meanwhile, they were faking everything. Then, on the 9th of August, they finally did it. The speedrunner Prawley achieved the world record on the first and most popular zombies map, Shadows of Evil. But this is where he made his fatal mistake, and one tiny inconsistency brought down his entire campaign. 6 months of effort completely down the drain, because he forgot to check his splits. In this video, we will take a look at the Black Ops 3 Zombies cheater, Prawley, and we even have a recording of the exact moment that he was confronted with the evidence he cheated. And the response was exactly what you would expect from a career cheater. I really hope you enjoy. Now legends, today I've partnered with Epic Games to let you know that the award-winning racing franchise Horizon Chase is back and better than ever with its latest edition, Horizon Chase 2. Horizon Chase 2 is an incredibly fun racer that perfectly encapsulates the golden era of arcade gaming with high-speed immersive gameplay that you can just jump straight into and have a good time. It showcases intuitive handling that allows you to go pedal to the metal without worrying about crashing every 2 seconds. I have to admit I'm not the most skilled racer, but I was having a blast from the moment I started playing, and the handling was super easy to learn. Horizon Chase 2 offers 3 game modes: World Tour, Playground, and Tournament. Playing through World Tour allows you to upgrade your stats and unlock new cosmetics. Personally, I like to make my car red because everyone knows that red cars go faster. And the Playground mode lets you battle online in heart-pounding races or take on more intense challenges. Horizon Chase 2 features online cross-play multiplayer as well as up to 4 players locally for some split-screen multi-action. It is available on both Nintendo Switch and PC via Epic Games. It is a ton of fun, so click the link in the description and grab yourself a copy. The Call of Duty franchise is absolutely gigantic, and while it is well known for its solo campaign and online multiplayer features, the Zombies mode has become more and more of a staple gameplay mode over the years. Included in most Call of Duty releases since 2008, Zombies is a horror survival mode where the player needs to face waves of zombies, with each wave getting progressively more difficult. You might think it would be hard to speedrun a zombie wave survival game, but there are numerous ways. For example, players compete to see who can get through a certain amount of waves in the quickest time. But the most popular zombie speedruns revolve around various Easter egg hunts. Call of Duty developer Treyarch loves to include these Easter egg hunts throughout the Zombies mode, where if a player completes certain tasks, they can unlock a variety of hidden surprises. These hunts usually require a decent amount of steps. In Black Ops 3, which is the game we are discussing today, the most popular zombie Easter egg speedrun is for the very first level, Shadows of Evil. The current world record stands at 20 minutes and 14 seconds, achieved by Steve in February of this year. This speedrun is surprisingly technical. The movement mechanics are not simple at all, requiring you to constantly slide hop and slide cancel, and there is a bunch of zombie spawn manipulation going on that you would never be able to detect just by watching the run. The cheater we are talking about today, known as Prawley, joined the Black Ops 3 Zombies speedrunning community in February of this year, posting a new personal best of 29 minutes. This is 9 minutes slower than the record, and makes sense for a new player, but Prawley would grind hard, and would improve his times rather rapidly, the next day achieving a 24-minute time. This seems like a big jump, but truthfully, it's not until you get quite a bit lower than this that progress should start to slow down. Within a month, however, he was already well inside the top 10. And this is where things should start to get serious. Prawley knew that this rate of progression couldn't be kept up, so he did start to increase his PBs a bit more gradually. On the 27th of March, he claimed a 21:17. On the 11th of April, he claimed a 21:03. On the 20th of April, he claimed a 20:58. In early May, he claimed a 20:49. And then on the 21st of May, he made a huge jump to 20:25, now only 10 seconds behind the world record. This rate of improvement was still shocking to many players though, and it's not necessarily because Prawley didn't have enough skill, it was because he was getting incredibly lucky. Aside from the plethora of difficult and inconsistent tricks and glitches players need to do, top-level Shadows of Evil speedruns also require you to get very specific RNG, and there are a couple of main mechanics that cause this. The first has to do with gumballs called gobblegums. Scattered around the map are gobblegum machines, where the player can collect a gobblegum. These gumballs provide the player with various power-ups or abilities. Before entering a map, the player chooses which 5 gobblegums they want to be available during gameplay. However, the order at which these 5 gobblegums are dispensed is random. I won't go into specifics about what each gobblegum does, but the simple reality is that the world record strategy requires you to get a specific gobblegum to start off with, which is a 20% chance. This particular gobblegum gives you a bunch of points that you need to open gates with, as well as other power-ups. The first gobblegum is collected just over half a minute into the run, and 4 out of 5 runs will end right here. The next 4 gobblegums don't necessarily need to be specific, however there is definitely an ideal order at which they can be dispensed. Ultimately, the majority of the time for a top runner will be spent just resetting runs until they get good gobblegum luck. Then it gets even worse because on wave 5 or 6, instead of zombies, parasites will spawn. And in order to do these steps of the Easter egg in the quickest way, you need parasites to spawn on wave 6. This is a straight up coin toss, and 50% of the runs will end at wave 5 because of parasites. Wave 5 occurs at least 4.5 minutes into the run, which is a massive time sink if you get bad luck. Prawley was completing a lot of runs, and it wasn't just that he was able to do full runs, but in every single one of his personal bests, he got the ideal gobblegum order. It wasn't just that he got the first 1 or 2 correct ones, which top runners might reset for, it was all 5 in optimal order every single time. He had so many lucky runs that people noticed, and expressed their amazement at how lucky Prawley seemed to be. In order to counter this, Prawley would claim that he was playing 5 to 8 hours per day, which is why he was getting so many lucky runs. And he would post pictures of his playtime indicating an average of 9 hours per day. He would also claim insane reset counts. For example, in early August, after playing just shy of 6 months, he claimed 25,000 resets. To put that into perspective, the runner Freckleston, who is only 1 second away from the world record and who has been playing for 2 years, has less than half of that amount. Prawley was lucky, but there was no concrete evidence he had cheated. And despite the fact that people were suspicious of Prawley, even the current world record holder Steve, there was nothing they could do. On the 2nd of August, Prawley claimed a 2015, just 1 second off the record. Prawley appeared to be very upset about missing the world record, but thankfully, Prawley would get the luck he needed again very soon. On the 9th of August, Prawley finally achieved the world record, crushing Steve's 2014 by 6 seconds with a 20:08. Prawley posted a message thanking everyone and saying that he was finally free. But Prawley had fucked up. Normally when Prawley achieved his PBs, he just needed a video of the run itself, but because this was a world record, the moderators needed a little something extra, so they requested the full session video, including all previous resets. This would confirm the RNG in the game was working correctly and there was no funny business going on. Prawley provided his full session, which consisted of 1 hour of attempts before his record. Again, multiple top runners, including the world record holder, were extremely suspicious of Prawley, but after watching the footage, they couldn't see anything out of the ordinary in his gameplay, and they were pretty much ready to give up and accept that Prawley was legit. But they were only looking at the gameplay itself, and were missing a crucial piece of the footage that also needed to be examined. The runner Take Care asked Steve if he had really checked Prawley's splits, and Steve realized he hadn't. And lo and behold, Steve found the smoking gun. On the menu screen between resets, right before his world record run, Prawley's sum of best magically changes from 1858 to 1854. The only logical conclusion from this inconsistency is that Prawley had used video editing software to splice his world record run onto old footage of legitimate attempts, but didn't realize that at some point in between, he had improved his gold time on one of those segments, and his sum of best was now lower. Steve shared his findings privately with several people, which led to the runner Bug of Cake confronting Prawley and asking him what happened. And of course, Prawley acted like he had no idea what could have caused the discrepancy.
Prawley, I came in here because I found something, and I want to ask you about it.
What?
In your SOE session.
Yeah.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
Are you watching?
Yep.
Look at your summer bet. Look at this. Oh, it's a bit before. 1858 here. Changes 1854.
Well, I don't know, like, how that would have happened, like.
You have no idea?
I mean, no. There's literally the footage.
Did you not change anything?
I mean, I might have changed it in that moment, but I don't like right now in this moment, I don't remember like changing it. Like I probably changed it right there, but like I don't like it wasn't a big deal enough for me to like point it out.
Everything 57 minutes on. This splice happens right before your run. Is everything before spliced on? Did that not happen? Did you just?
No.
I need an explanation because there is only one explanation.
Okay, but okay, let's put it in like the like perspective that I did. Bro, you don't think I would have noticed that? Like, you don't think I would have really went through that and like looked at my time? Like just my timer. Like, bro, what?
I don't know. Maybe you missed it.
But I just would I wouldn't.
Honestly, just the inconsistent timer itself was already enough to prove a splice, but the moderators still asked more questions, including which mod Prawley was using to speedrun. Every Black Ops 3 zombie speedrunner uses a mod to get unlimited gobblegums, but that's all the mod is supposed to do. Prawley sent over the mod he claimed to be using. However, again, an inconsistency was found. With the mod Prawley said he was using, on the scoreboard screen, which displays the gobblegums chosen, it shows shows a red hexagon with a number representing the amount of gobblegums available, but in Prawley's world record, when he showed the scoreboard, the red hexagons weren't present, indicating that a different mod was being used. The only reason to lie about this is if the mod he was using was affecting the game in other ways. After initially lying and saying he didn't know what caused the timer glitch, and after getting caught lying about what mod he was using, Prawley finally confessed after he was removed from the leaderboards, confirming he had been cheating the entire time. More specifically, he confessed to modifying the game to get perfect gobblegum luck every time, as well as getting the parasites on wave 6 every time as well. But don't worry, Prawley didn't do this for clout. No, he just wasted 6 months of his life lying to a community and cheating because he wanted to fix the website. Well, I for one thank Prawley for so generously being a terrible person, so that everyone else can learn a valuable lesson. I'm sure the Black Ops 3 speedrunning community is better off after Prawley blessed it with his presence. Big thanks to the runners Bug of Cake and Freckleston for helping me learn about this situation. Please go and show some support by checking out their channels. I'll put their links in the description. Thank you so much for watching, you legends. I hope you are having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video.